Hi everyone! I got a request to do a cage tour, and unfortunately the cage that they wanted a tour of is at home and not in my dorm room, but I thought that you guys would want to see a tour of my dorm room cage as well. So this is the playpen and cage that I use while I'm at college. So here's the playpen. I'm standing in the one corner. So not too big, but big enough, definitely for 3 rats. There's Chiquita, one of my girls. So they usually have 2 boxes that I get out of the recycle bin. They have a ladder to get out. It's more for the older ones. And then I like to put a blanket down, both for me and for the rats. But this floor is a linoleum, so a fake wood, which is so easy to clean up. You just wipe it down with any cleaner. But I have wood paneling to save the walls from their biting, and also so that they don't escape. So that's the playpen. Little tubes, toys everywhere that they like to bring into the cage. This is Chiquita. Hi. Okay, so now I'll show you guys inside the cage. Let me get a good view here. So they usually have 3 hammocks. They have a small one, which is kind of a bummer because they have the wheel there, so I have to do a smaller one. But this is kind of like the lookout hammock. They like to use this to see what I'm doing, usually because it's the highest point of the cage, at least on this side. So, oh goodness, we have some escapees. This is Jeannie, my new one. So that's the lookout spot. And of course they have their wheel, which they love. There's the wheel. It's a silent spinner. The most silent wheel I guess there is. Still not perfectly silent, but... And here's their water. They also have a few of these wood chews that I make. They're just the wood blocks that you can buy at PetSmart, and you usually put them on a treat kebab, but I didn't have those, so this is just a pipe cleaner. And you just make loops to keep them from sliding down. And they love these, especially Ginny. And I have a couple of just ropes, mostly for show. But this hammock is in the middle. Oops. This hammock is really Raya's hammock. This is where Raya, right there, there's Raya. This is where Raya likes to hang out most of the time. And this is usually a flat hammock or something of that sort. This one she can go in. I don't know what you'd call this one, but that's Raya's hammock. There's also a pocket on the wall. Sometimes I have those, sometimes I don't. Hi, Raya. And this is Chiquita's hammock, which is always a pocket hammock. She loves her pocket hammocks. She's in it all the time. So it's kind of funny how they all picked kind of one hammock that they like. I have this ladder that I got as a present that it just helps them get from one side to the other, especially the older ones. And then they have a ball with some fabric in it that they like. They don't really go in it as much as they used to because I had a rat die 3 weeks ago, and this was her favorite spot. And now they kind of don't use it as much now that she's not here. But I'm hoping that my new one, Ginny, will start using it, and maybe they'll start using it again. So it's always open for them. But so here's another shelf. Here's another one of the wood chews I was talking about. Their food bowl with their food. I usually feed them once a day, maybe twice if they ask for it. These are liners that I made myself. Chiquita's going to demonstrate the food bowl. These are liners that I made myself. They're not perfect, but they work well. They have Velcro, and then they just wrap around. But as you can see, this one has a hole because it's attached to a tube, so they can go in that tube and down to the bottom level. But I also have a liner on this one. Raya's going to demonstrate the water bottle. But that's the same thing, Velcro. And then down on the bottom level, as you can see, they can use the tube, they can use this ladder that's off the tube. There's also another ladder here. Most of the time they just launch themselves off of the tube. So they kind of just pick however they want to go down. Sometimes they just fall. But this is the litter box. Chiquita's in the litter box. They are litter trained. So this on the bottom is actually a bathroom carpet. It's the perfect size for this cage. I find them on sale or at Salvation Army or Goodwill or places like that. I never buy mine really new because, I mean, they're new at like Salvation Army, but I don't buy them like at Target or Walmart because they're too expensive. But I think this one was like $2–3 new, but at like a Salvation Army store or something. But then they have this snuggle sack. That's a newer edition. I found that Raya really likes those. And then on the other side, there's where the tube comes out. And so they also climb up it to get to the other levels. But they have a barn back there. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark. But that's where they sleep most of the time, actually, is back in that barn. And all three of them sleep in there. And they also have a little house right here that's just a shelf turned upside down. So that's the whole cage. This is a Macairo, I think that's how you say it. This cage actually used to be a foot taller than this, but let me back up. So about a foot taller, and I still have all the parts to make it a foot taller, but I didn't need the height. It's easier for us to get this in my dorm room this way, and this is technically big enough for 4 rats. So, and I just have the 3, so Raya, Chiquita, and there's Ginny on my shoulder. So for them this is a great size. The one at home is much bigger. If you look at my room tour, you can see that it's a Ferret Nation, but they love this one because they can come out as they want to. Chiquita, knock this over. I have these up because Chiquita can be a jumper. Not as much now that she's 2, but what happens is that her little feet will try and grab onto this, and then she just kind of slides down. This is just a plastic kitchen mat that I cut up. So that's a really great idea if anyone has a rat that tries to escape, which I know there are a lot of. So I also put outlet covers on the outlet so that they won't get electrocuted. But yeah, so if it's really rare that the door is not open to this cage at least 5 hours a day. They're not always out and about all those 5 hours, usually only about an hour of that 5 hours, but you know, at like 10 or 15 minute intervals. And I usually sit right here with my back against the wall, and I'll have my computer or whatever. And they love when I can come in here and they just crawl around, and Ginny likes to play. My Ginny. I've only had her for 3 weeks, so I'm really excited. Look at her. Look at my hand. She's so sweet. But Raya and Chiquita I've had for about 2 years now. She's big, I know. She's a monster. But this is my Raya bear. There's Chiquita. I've had her for 2 years too. She's Raya's sister, if you can imagine that. Much smaller. So yeah, so hopefully I will do a cage tour of the Ferret Nation at home this weekend, once I can get it. Once I can go home. I go home every weekend. So this is where my rats are during the week. So thanks for watching.